First announced back in September of 2022, we got the announcement for the first ever Fire Emblem initially developed by Intelligent Systems for an HD console. I'll be honest, I haven't dipped into Fire Emblem as much as I'd like to. Having only played Awakening, Three Houses, and Path of Radiance, I'm still familiar with the basics though. And I gotta be honest, I had some major problems with Three Houses. From the pointlessly large hub to the overcomplicated leveling system, and incredibly uninspired graphical style with consistent poppin', I was more than skeptical. But this game has paid off. Ooh boy.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
There is so much to love about this game. It has its issues, but this is the most fun I've had since Awakening. Starting with the story, we start off the game with my boy Aliar waking up after a 1,000-year nap to find out the land of Helios was once besieged by the fell dragon Sombron. Although he was sealed away all that time ago, this Fortnite-looking villain has made his way back, seeking the power of the Emblem Rings. Starting with the pros, I loved the pacing of the story. There's 27 chapters, including the prologue. But this game picks up the pace, not only introducing new chapters in good intervals, but providing tidbits of lore throughout the campaign rather than just dumping it on us at the beginning. It leaves a sense of mystery I enjoy piecing together. With that going into characters, we have some bangers. You already know Ivy and Yunaka were on my team 100% of the time. But you know what's perfect about these games? Let's say the game introduces a child doctor that I think is lame as hell. Well, instead of dealing with it and let it affect my experience of the game, I take the simple choice of letting him die.
What's wrong with you?
Playing on classic mode is both a blessing and a curse. Characters you love can die on you, but so can the annoying ones, so it's a hit or miss. And it really doesn't bug me because the game has you prioritize whoever you want without any sort of downside. And what makes a lot of these characters so good are their interactions. Like in Persona, I'm a sucker for social bonds, and this game has a sort of dumbed down version of it where you pick a teammate and bond with them after fighting with them or giving them enough chill time. And this leads to so many unique and fun topics these characters talk about. I never got tired of Rosado hunting down the perfect work of art or Yunaka explaining her past. All the characters have so much personality that really the only main negative is there's not too much of a benefit to doing all this, which saying that back, that is kind of a lot. Like you get little perks, but even something like giving the bond ring to someone in this game I found did little to nothing. So as fun as these characters are, keep in mind it is not a necessary element unless you are determined. As for the gameplay, you can expect your usual type of Fire Emblem gameplay. You've got the rock, paper, scissors mechanic from day one. But now we have a Dragon Ball fusion. Your heroes can use one of 12 emblems to transform and get massive stat boosts or even just get a completely different moveset. Engaging with your emblems is super fun to mix and match, see who works better with what hero, and there's a good amount of enemy variety here, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't think any of it is new, which is very disappointing considering it's been so long since the new baddies. Customizing can be super fun, whereas it was overcomplicated in the previous game. Engage lays everything out for you on an easy to reach silver platter. It's all within only a few menus, like for example, the hub world is so much smaller in this game, but I adore it. Everything is much more compact, so it's super easy to find what you need. All the shops are in the same spot. I've had no issues getting around finding things. One thing I was concerned going into this was the difficulty. And for past games I've played, it's either balls to the walls tough or it's mind-numbingly easy. But I played this game on normal mode.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
This shit is balanced more than an architectural structure with a level on it. It just works. I never felt like, oh, that's some bullshit. I found different ways to pull off levels, and if it didn't work, it was easy to adjust my ideas and go from there. The normal difficulty made it so I wasn't plowing through the enemies, but they certainly weren't brick walls. This is easily my favorite Fire Emblem so far. Everything from the characters, personalities, the combat, the compact hub world, or the perfect balancing of difficulty and strategy. It makes it an absolute blast and a must-play, especially for you Fire Emblem fans. I'm not one for jumping on DLC packs, but you already know I'm on those waves. With day one, Camilla, let's go. I'm gonna give Fire Emblem Engage a solid 4 out of 5.